Okay, when installing the Backup Buddy clone, everything on your website is already configured. You don't have to do anything, you just have to do the install. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. Now we're going to install in a completely clean directory. There's nothing in here other than the CGI bin. So we're going to come over here to our cPanel, and you can use FTP or File Manager. I'm just going to use File Manager, and I'm going to upload to this directory here. Again, there's nothing here. I'm just going to grab my two files that you'll receive with your download. Of course, you have to unzip the main download, then you'll see your two files there. Those are the two that you want to upload. So you'll see your Backup Buddy default website. That's your main zip file, your big zip file. Now unzip that, and you'll get two files: Import Buddy PHP and the Backup Buddy file. Do not unzip this file. If you do, it may get corrupted. Many people have unzipped these, and then they rezip them and try to install them, and the installation fails because it's been unzipped. So just leave it alone. All of your files are in there. You don't need to take a look at them. They're all there. So you just need to have the backup file and the import buddy. So I'm going to grab the backup file, I'm going to upload that, and I'm going to grab the import buddy PHP file and upload that. So these upload to the directory fairly quickly because it's a small file. It's less than 10 megs for the file. So we're going to go over here to index, go refresh, and you'll see that the files are now uploaded. I'm going to click on import buddy. Now if your directory has, or your ISP or hosting company has security in there where you can't actually click on that file, you may have to just go ahead and put your domain, whatever it is, and your import buddy in the, up here in the URL. So, you may not be able to click on the files to get it to fire. So you're going to have to put in the whole URL up in the address bar. Okay, now I want to make this perfectly clear. You're not going to be able to install this on an existing blog. If you have an existing blog and you do this installation, it will blow away your existing blog. It'll be completely gone. I've had people do this in the past. They ignore the warnings. I guess they don't believe that it's going to happen. They install it and their old blog is gone. Now this is only for brand new sites. This is not for existing sites. If you have an existing site, you're going to have to upload all the plugins manually and configure the site manually, and I go over that in the installation webinar tutorial. Okay, so step one, we're going to put in our authentication password, and you receive that on the download page. So we're going to type that in here and go ahead and authenticate. And once that authenticates, then we'll roll over to our step 2, although it says step 1. I guess authentication was not considered step 2. It extracts the files. We just go ahead and click on the next step, and it will do its thing. So now what we have to do is we have to create a database. Actually, should have created a database first, but this is a good demonstration. I'm going to show you how to do that. In this directory right here, I'm just going to create the database. So I'm just going to call it test 1. And for the username, I'm going to do the same thing. I don't change these out, mainly because I don't want to have to keep remembering what the username is and the password, so on and so forth. Now we're going to generate a password. That looked like this is a pretty good one. And I'm going to save this down in Notepad. So we want to save this down because we're going to need this for the installation. And if you do forget your password during the install, it's not a big deal. You will have to install another database, blow away the database you created, and install another one. That's not a big deal. I'm going to create the user, and we're going to give that user all privileges. And now we have the information we need, which is the database and the user. Okay, as we install this, we're going to need that information. So we put the database and the user right here, and we go over to that. Remember, we saved our password. We go over to the password where we save that, and we're going to copy that, and we get to put that in here. Now the great thing about the Backup Buddy installation is the prefix, as I've gone over before, the prefix in WordPress is WP_. Now that is not very secure. So I'm just going to put my own in here. Kind of get a little creative with it. Make sure you put the underscore at the end. I'm going to test the database settings. It's very important to make sure that everything is connected correctly. And we should have 4 lines in here that all say success. If any of these fail, then you'll need to go back in and recreate your database. Okay, going to do a next step. And then it says that the import is complete. We're going to do step 4. Click on the next step, and that will go ahead and install the site. Now, I just click on Clean Up and Remove Temporary Files. I don't check the site to see that it's working. It's never failed me yet, and I've installed these hundreds of times using Backup Buddy. We just click on this, and here is our demo site. Now remember, logging into the dashboard, we must use WP Padlock, because Padlock is now an integral part of the installation. It's already been installed and configured. Now, remember the username? I gave you the username and the password for the dashboard on the download page. So we're going to put that in here, WP-admin, and then our password. And we're going to log in. We'll get the usual file permissions passed. Everything's okay to log into WordPress. We'll click on this. And if we don't get this screen, if you have to do this a couple times, don't freak out. It's just simply didn't pick up your IP as being safe, and you may have to do this a couple of times. But once it picks up your IP address and writes it to the log file, writes it to the htaccess file, then you're golden. Type in our username and password, and we're taken directly to the dashboard. Now we can see we already have a nag in here. Warning, WordPress File Manager has detected a change in the files. You're going to get that. You're going to see the changes in here. And the only reason it does this is because it has uploaded this file and has changed some of the files around, which is a good thing, because now you know that this plugin is alerting you to any changes in the core files of WordPress. We're going to remove the alert because we just installed it. It's all clean. There's nothing else in here. Now, what you may want to do, of course, is come into General, and you want to change your site title and your tagline and put your email here, and then you may want to go ahead and put your time zone in and save the changes. Okay, so your site is now installed, configured, it is safe, it's ready to go. It is completely safe. You can see we have our security points up here, 107 out of 115. A couple of B's, all A's, and you're going to get this if you have a shared hosting like HostGator, because you're not going to be able to move your WP config file out of the top level directory. You're not going to be able to do that. Now, if you have your own dedicated server, you can certainly do that. And then some of the core files have changed, and that's simply because we did we've added some files here to the core file. Remember, we added the firewall, and we got rid of some files, like we got rid of install PHP and WP-admin. Okay, so removing those files, and the core files have changed, and that's the code check. But that's not a big deal. We know that this is now more secure. And we get an A, 107 out of 115, which is very, very good. Now, the only other thing I want to mention here is you may want to go ahead and do a backup of the site. Now, you have it installed. So you want to change the import buddy password. Put your own password in here. Put your own email for email or error notification. And then, of course, you can choose what you want to back at, what directories. This is simply all the directories that are installed, which is nothing. Now, of course, if you're on a shared server, and this goes out and it grabs a whole bunch of other domains, you need to check that. So you just need to check these red circles here and move the excluded directories over here, because you don't want it, Backup Buddy, you don't want to be backing up your whole server. You just want to back up one site. Okay, so keep that in mind. Save your changes, and then come over to Backup and simply click on the complete backup, and you'll be able to back up your site. That's really all there is to it. Now, one other little anomaly with WhatSup. Now, WhatSup, when it's installed and it's activated, You'll get no records in here because for some reason there is a little bug in it. What's Up will need to be deactivated, and then you'll just need to activate it again, and then it will start gathering information from as it captures stuff in here. So as visitors show up, it will go ahead and record this. For some reason, and I don't know what the reason is, I've gone through maybe 3 or 4 iterations of What's Up, and it does this every single time. And I've made clones in the past and not activated What's Up, and then people forget to activate it. So I'm just making you aware that it's active, but it will not record any traffic until you actually deactivate it and then reactivate it, and then it will start recording hits on your site, which is very good to make sure that you know who's coming to your site, and it gathers a whole bunch of information that is going to be great in case you need it for somebody trying to hack into your site. Okay, so that's really the installation of the Backup Buddy clone. I hope that you understand everything. If you have any questions at all or any problems installing this, go ahead and contact me at my help desk. I always get those emails. Contact me at the help desk, and I'll respond usually within a few hours, not any longer than 24 hours. Okay, so I appreciate your purchase of my product, and I hope that all of your WordPress sites, you lock them down tighter than a bank vault, and no hacker is ever going to be able to break into your WordPress site ever again. Thanks for your purchase.